I'm tutoring at the school hot boy's house, teaching his younger brother. My online boyfriend texted, complaining to me, "Darling, my mom just found a tutor for my little brother. And that tutor is my classmate. She's so annoying." What a coincidence. I looked at Kai Dang, who was playing on his phone in front of me, feeling a bit confused. That girl is really unpleasant. I don't like her at all. Kai Dang kept his head down, texting and mumbling. I was so scared I didn't dare reply to the message. Could it really be such a coincidence? Even though I chose my online boyfriend from someone nearby, it couldn't be this coincidental, right? Duong Yen Hai, can you focus on teaching my brother? Stop looking at your phone all the time. Kai Dang seemed unhappy seeing me playing with my phone. Okay. I reluctantly put my phone down. He lowered his head and texted again. Immediately after, my phone buzzed continuously. Good grief. If you don't want me to use my phone, then stop texting me. I looked up, just in time to meet his slightly angry gaze. I silently switched my phone to silent mode. Luckily, he didn't notice anything unusual. I still couldn't believe it. The online boyfriend I'd known for so long was actually the famous hot boy from school. Teacher, can you check if I did this exercise correctly? Kai Bang excitedly handed me his workbook. I glanced over it. He had indeed followed the steps I taught. The boy was very smart. I only needed to teach him one type of problem, and he could understand and apply it to all similar ones. I nodded in satisfaction, unable to resist praising him. You learn so quickly. Very good. Are there any other parts you don't understand? I looked at the clock. I had already tutored for an extra hour. Although Kai Bang was smart, he probably didn't pay attention in school, which is why he needed tutoring now. No, thank you, teacher. You teach very well. The door opened, and Kai Dang's mother entered with a gentle smile. Bang bang. How is Miss Hai's teaching? Have you learned anything? Yes, I've learned everything. Miss Hai teaches very well. And she's pretty and gentle too. Kai Bang nodded repeatedly, constantly praising me. In contrast, Kai Dang's expression became increasingly sour. But he said nothing. All right, I've never seen you praise a teacher like this. Then let's have Miss Duong continue teaching. Kai Bang jumped up happily. Kai Dang's mother was very gentle. She looked at her phone and said, Miss Duong, it's so late. Why don't you stay over at our house? It'll be convenient to go to school together with Kai Dang tomorrow morning. Ma'am, please don't call me Miss Duong. Just call me Tiu Hai. Seeing Kai Dang's annoyed expression, I refused directly. No, it's okay, ma'am. I still need to go to the hospital to visit my mother. She looked regretful. Oh, is that so? The city hospital is quite far from here. Let Kai Dang drive you. I was about to refuse when she pulled Kai Dang up. Son, didn't you hear Mom? Hurry up and take your friend. Kai Dang reluctantly picked up the keys from the table. It was a mechanical key with a prancing horse figure. A Ferrari. Indeed, just this Ferrari alone was enough to make many female students at school swoon. He went to get the car and told me to wait here. Only then did I have a chance to look at the messages Kai Dang had sent. The messages stopped a few minutes ago. The last one was even a cute sticker he sent. I scrolled up to reread the conversation. Darling, why aren't you replying? That girl wasn't focusing while teaching my brother. So I scolded her. Good grief. Does he have to tell others about this too? Before, I found it cute that he wanted to share everything with me. Sometimes acting pouty, but I still didn't want to associate my online boyfriend with Kai Dang's cold face. Darling, when can we finally meet? I promise I won't disappoint you. Truly cold on the outside, warm on the inside. His appearance that mesmerized thousands of girls hit a childish soul. No way, I'm too ugly. Meeting up probably wouldn't be good. Darling, you finally replied. What were you doing just now? Telling me to wait here. Not going to get the car but busy texting instead. I was a bit annoyed, and replied irritably. Got scolded by some idiot. I'm so annoyed. As soon as I sent the message, the other side showed, typing. Which idiot dared to scold my darling? Seeing this, I almost burst out laughing. He even scolded himself? My mom even told me to drive that classmate home. But I don't want to. I'll just sleep in the car later. Kai Dang really is cold. Why do you hate your classmates so much? I asked, feeling like I already knew the answer. Anyone could see Kai Dang disliked me, and I had guessed part of the reason. A moment later, Kai Dang replied, because she badmouthed me behind my back. As expected, he still hadn't forgotten about that. During the pandemic, my school was locked down for a while. Learning relied on online meetings with teachers. That day was the first time I used a particular online learning software. I just remember there was a microphone icon. Below it were the words, mute. And the microphone had a red line through it. Was the mic on or off? I really wasn't sure. Just then, my roommate sent me a voice message. Yen hi. Do you think Kai Dang is handsome? He even has a Ferrari. I think I like him. But I heard a girl confessed to him a few days ago and got rejected. I blurted out. Look at Kai Dang's face. Look twice more and you'd probably need to wear a cotton jacket. What's so great about him? Where's the handsome part? The teacher who was lecturing suddenly coughed a few times. Student Duong Yen Hai, no talking during class. Please mute your microphone. Just then, another message came from my friend, Yen Hai. Why didn't you mute your mic? The whole class heard everything. It's over. Big trouble. After that, the school lockdown ended, but this incident spread everywhere. Occasionally, girls would come to my classroom just to look at me. Who would dare talk about Kai Dang like that? Did they have a death wish? But Kai Dang never made things difficult for me. Nor did he react, except for the cold look in his eyes whenever he saw me. But since he seemed to look at everyone that way, I thought he didn't mind. Only now did I realize he definitely held a grudge. He probably never expected his online girlfriend to be the very person he hated. I was texting Kai Dang while opening a ride-hailing app to find a car. Just then, the door behind me suddenly opened. Kai Dang's mother stepped out. She looked a bit surprised to see me. Oh, Tiu Hai, why are you still here? Where's Kai Dang then? She looked around a bit. It's all right, ma'am. I've already booked a car. Cancel it right now. Let Kai Dang take you. She put her phone to her ear, smiled at me, and walked aside. Kai Dang, where are you? Are you ignoring your mother? A minute later, she gave me an okay sign. Soon after, a red Ferrari sped over. Kai Dang gave me a cold glance. Get in. Who would have thought? She pushed past me, grabbed Kai Dang's ear with one hand. You have to treat Tiu Hai well. Do you know how hard it is to find a tutor for your brother? If you make her quit, you can tutor him yourself. Kai Dang winced in pain, gritting his teeth. Mom, all right, I know. As we passed a barbecue stall, I told Kai Dang to stop the car. He looked at me, his expression helpless as if to say, why are you so troublesome? As soon as I got out of the car, my phone rang. Without even thinking, I knew it was a message from Kai Dang. Haha, showing me attitude one moment and texting the next. I wasn't bothering to reply. Thinking back, Kai Dang and I met through gaming. That time it was a promotion match. I turned on the Find Nearby Players feature. And he was the only one nearby playing Honor of Kings. I tried sending an invite, not expecting him to join immediately. Thinking about it, someone like Kai Dang, who never usually pays attention to girls, was actually dating online. If my boy crazy best friend knew about this, I wonder if she'd cry her eyes out. After buying the meat skewers, I got back in the car and finally opened Kai Dang's message. Darling, can we meet? I've never even seen you before. He had mentioned this intention to meet many times before. Luckily, I had never agreed. If we met and he saw me, he'd probably turn hostile on the spot. If I looked like your classmate, would you still like me? Darling, ever since I found out Kai Dang was my online boyfriend, I even found every sentence with the word, darling, a bit awkward. I heard his message notification sound, he just glanced at it. Not replying because he was driving. We're here, his cold voice sounded. Haha, he wasn't this cold to me online. The two-faced guy. Thanks. I hesitated for a moment, but finally said thank you. As soon as I got out, the Ferrari revved its engine and sped off. My goodness, so heartless. It took me a lot of effort to find my mother's hospital room. I had asked many times before, but she wouldn't let me visit. She was in a high-end private room, all by herself. Mom, are you feeling better? Seeing me arrive, my mother's expression immediately changed. She tried to get out of bed to stop me. Why did you come here? Go home quickly. I looked at her helplessly. I know, Mom, you're hospitalized because of that doctor. It's okay, I just saw him go downstairs. My mother breathed a sigh of relief, returning to her tired state. All right then, but we can't let him know I have a daughter this old. Wait until he agrees. Then we'll talk. I gave a helpless laugh. Mom, do you want these lamb skewers? Please eat them. I'll leave them here. I can go now. I had no choice but to sit down beside her helplessly. Mom, let's go back home. I'm scared staying alone in that villa. It feels so empty. My mother was engrossed in eating the skewers, paying no attention to me. Sigh. It's boring going home now too. That's why I took the tutoring job. Who told you to dress so plainly? Didn't I buy you so many designer clothes and bags that you refuse to wear? My mother was terrifyingly determined not to go home. Wait until Mom successfully woos that doctor. Then we'll see. Being near him makes it easier to approach him. Just then, my phone lit up. It was a WeChat message from Kai Dang's mother. "Tiu, hi dear. From now on, come teach Kai Bang during lunch breaks and after school in the evenings. Auntie will give you a raise. You and Kai Dang can leave school together so Kai Dang can bring you here." I tried persuading my mother for a whole hour, but she remained completely unmoved by my pleas. In the end, I had to go to IKEA and buy a really big teddy bear. Holding it while sleeping at night made me feel more secure. Arriving home, the pitch-black house looked just like a monster with its mouth wide open. I didn't even turn on the lights. Just used my phone's flashlight to light the way as I ran straight to my bedroom. A big house isn't necessarily good, it just makes one feel more scared. Turning on the air conditioner and covering myself with a blanket, I started texting Kai Dang. Every time I texted him, I always felt a greater sense of security. If you looked like that classmate of mine, I'd probably have to reconsider. This message was sent over 10 minutes ago. His reply to the question I asked him in the car. I texted back, "Didn't you say you'd like me no matter what I looked like?" His reply was clearly delayed. "No way. Anyway, you can't look like that witch. Otherwise I'd be very upset." He really did detest me. Even though I called him ugly. Other people didn't think so. Why did he need to hold a grudge? Wifey, why didn't you invite me to play games today? Seeing this form of address gave me goosebumps. I couldn't even imagine Kai Dang's tone and expression saying this. "What, wifey, don't call me that." Immediately after, a sticker of a small cat looking piteous appeared. "Hey, what are you doing? You're so cold in person. You don't need to be this relaxed in an online relationship." I decided to answer his question, ignoring the form of address. "I've been busy lately. Probably won't be able to play much during lunch or in the evenings." Alright then. After chatting for a while, it was almost 12 a.m. Going to sleep now, wifey. Good night. Good night. In the end, I didn't have the courage to reply with those two words. Hubby. My mother's Porsche was parked in front of the house. Unfortunately, I don't have a driver's license, so I still have to call a car to get to school every day. As soon as I got out of the car, I saw my best friend waving at the school gate, running over with a happy face. "Yen, hi, you look pretty today too." Behind us, a loud roar sounded as a familiar red Ferrari, like a screaming beast, stopped right in front of the school gate. Unsurprisingly, every time Kai Dang came to school, he made such an arrogant entrance. I looked around and noticed something wasn't right. What's wrong? Why are there so many people at the gate today? You don't know? Today is Kai Dang's birthday. Shu Thien said she wants to confess to him, so we all came to watch. In the crowd, I immediately saw Chu Thien holding an extremely extravagant birthday cake. Everyone around had gathered, whispering amongst themselves. "No wonder you got here earlier than me today? Probably to watch the confession scene, right?" My best friend looked scornful. "Confession? Everyone's just here to watch the joke. Who actually thinks she could succeed?" Shu Thien was very popular in school, but I didn't know much about her. Only heard her family was somewhat well off, but she was very ostentatious. Why, I think she's quite pretty. Even from a distance, I could see Chu Thien standing out among the crowd of female students. Tall figure, smooth white skin, delicate features. One look and you could tell she was an innocent young lady who had never experienced love. My best friend patted my shoulder, her eyes full of a, "You're still naive" look. So many girls have confessed to Kai Dang. Have you ever seen him accept anyone? Besides, Shu Thien is famous for having no integrity. How could Kai Dang possibly agree? Still didn't know what Kai Dang was doing in the car, taking so long to get out. My curiosity was also piqued. How bad is her character? Cornering girls in the bathroom to beat them up. Haven't you seen it? Just because her family has a bit of money, she thinks she's all that. Always bullying those less well off. Who knows if she has psychological problems? Indeed, you can't judge a book by its cover. She even posted about her confession in the group chat. Does she really think she can succeed? I just came here to watch her get humiliated. Suddenly, the phone in my pocket vibrated. The caller was my boss, Kai Dang's mother. Hello, Auntie? Is something wrong? Did Kai Dang find you at school? I looked at the Ferrari not far away and shook my head. No, he hasn't. All right, Tiu hi. Just wait a moment. Just a moment later, Kai Dang stepped out of the car. As the butterfly doors opened, he looked like a prince stepping out of a fairy tale. Chu Thin shyly held the extravagant birthday cake and approached him. My best friend grabbed my hand, her face full of excitement. Kai Dang, happy birthday. She held the cake with both hands, a faint blush on her face. Kai Dang stopped, looked at the cake expressionlessly, showing no intention of taking it. Thanks. With that said, he walked on, leaving Chu Thin standing stunned, her face full of confusion. The people around either snickered or showed sympathy. My best friend almost laughed out loud, pulling my hand gleefully. I knew it. I knew it. She definitely wouldn't succeed. But then I felt something was wrong. Damn it, why was he walking straight towards me? Sure enough, Kai Dang's ice-cold gaze was fixed directly on me. My best friend also noticed something unusual. Yen hi, why is Kai Dang coming towards you? What's this? Auntie told me to wait. Could it be waiting for her son? My best friend nervously tightened her grip on my hand. Hey, stop pulling my hand all the time. You pull when you're happy. You pull when you're stressed. My hand is about to get bruised. As Kai Dang got closer, I noticed his ears were red. I suddenly remembered his mother's ear-pulling trick from last night. Could it be that he got his ear pulled again this morning? He looked at me, his gaze no different from how he looked at Chu Thin just moments ago. I formally invite you. You must come home with me at lunchtime. All right? I was stunned for a moment, then nodded. Seeing me nod, his expression flickered unnaturally for a second before he turned back to his car. The Ferrari roared and sped straight into the school grounds. My best friend looked at me with a mix of shock and admiration. What? Go home together? Did you successfully woo him? Woo him? What wooing? I'm his little brother's tutor. Please, Miss Drama Queen, stop being so nosy. Unexpectedly, my best friend's expression didn't change. Still the same boy crazy face. Boo-hoo. But it still makes me happy. Too bad I'm terrible at studying. I can't possibly tutor a high school student. My friend's boy crazy fit wasn't over yet when Kai Dang's mother called again. This time Kai Dang found you, right? If I wasn't mistaken. There was a hint of pride in Auntie's voice. Yes, he found me, just now. All right, I guessed right. Oh, that boy Kai Dang is good in every way. Just too cold. Tiu hi, you're so gentle. You probably wouldn't dare get in his car. So Auntie told him to invite you personally. Feel reassured now? I didn't expect Kai Dang to speak in such an unpleasant manner just now. Auntie, now I feel even less reassured. But I still replied politely. Thank you, Auntie. After hanging up, my best friend timidly poked my arm. Yen hi. It seems like you've become the center of attention. Sure enough, the gazes of most people around had shifted from Chu Thin to me. Especially Chu Thin. The way she looked at me was as if I had just killed her father. Anyway, in everyone's eyes, it seemed I had ruined a romantic confession scene. Naturally, I felt a bit of the humiliation of being the third party. Let's go. Nothing interesting to see here. I pulled my best friend and ran straight to class. Escaping the crowd, my friend's gossipy spirit reignited. You talked about Kai Dang like that during online classes before. Now that you're tutoring at his house, doesn't he give you a hard time? I put on a face like I was about to cry. Don't bring it up again. I've only tutored for a few hours and he's almost driven me crazy. Do you specialize in bringing up painful subjects? If you hadn't said that about him, your chances of successfully confessing to Kai Dang would be higher than Chu Thin's. Hearing that, I quickly waved my hands. No way. I'm not confident enough. Unexpectedly, my best friend suddenly became serious. Why aren't you confident? Don't you know how pretty you are? Plus, your family background is good. A great match for Kai Dang's family. My best friend was the only one who knew about my family's background because I had only invited her to my birthday parties before. Hearing her praise me, I took out my phone and scrolled through last night's messages with Kai Dang. My gaze stopped on how he addressed me. Wifey. An indescribable feeling arose in my heart. If he knew who I was, could he still say those two words? Or would it be like how he looked at Chu Thien? A cold glance and then nothing? While I was still staring blankly at the message screen, a new message arrived from Kai Dang. Wifey. Mom pulled my ear again this morning. Made it all red, accompanied by a crying kitten sticker. I replied, their Pat's head. Are you okay? Why? He replied, it's all because of my little brother's tutor that Mom laid hands on me. How did everything circle back to me again? I thought to myself. He texted again, starting to complain about the tutor. Do you know how stupid that girl is? Curious, I texted back. How so? How is she stupid? I mentally rolled my eyes, wanting to see how he'd describe my stupidity. Kai Dang replied, Mom told me to call her over. At that moment, another girl was at the gate with a birthday cake, so it wasn't convenient for me to get out of the car. But that idiot just stood there staring at who knows what, neither entering the school nor leaving, and even told my mom about me. I had no choice but to get out and find her. Just moments ago his face was ice cold. Now he's sitting here whining. This young master really changes faces too quickly. But who told his mom? I wondered silently, then had an idea to tease him. I texted, oh, someone even brought you a cake? You're really popular, huh? As expected from someone like Kai Dang who had likely never dated. The other side went silent for a long time. After a while, he finally replied, that's right. It's my birthday today. Isn't wifey going to give me a present? Good grief, don't you know how you treat me? If I were to give you a gift, it'd be a couple of slaps. I thought, but quickly sent over a 200 yuan red packet with the message. Satisfied now? Give me a smile. Unexpectedly, Kai Dang didn't accept it but sent me back another red packet. Wifey. Take this money, buy me a cake, and bring it to school. Okay? The corner of my mouth lifted into a mischievous smile. I accepted the red packet and immediately turned off notifications. Haha, let him learn what it means to lose your money for nothing. For some reason, Chu Thien and Kai Dang entered the classroom almost at the same time. Neither looked happy. Their expressions were a bit weary. Thinking about it, I had caused trouble for both of them. Naturally, my mood improved significantly. Kai Dang probably didn't hold too much malice towards me, since he didn't know I was the culprit, his online girlfriend. But Chu Thien was different. The look in her eyes was like she wanted to eat me alive. The 2 class periods lasted nearly 2 hours. Every time I looked up, I saw Chu Thien turned around, pinning me with her hateful gaze. Hey, what are you looking at? You look just like a resentful woman. I just want to gouge your eyes out. Being stared at by her for a whole class period, my mood was about to collapse. Finally, the break arrived. I thought she would find an excuse to pick a fight with me. But unexpectedly, after the 2-minute break, she remained seated, a bit awkward now. I must have underestimated her. But as soon as Kai Dang stepped out of the classroom, Chu Thien charged straight towards me. Haha, so she was just shy of the crowd earlier. Duong Yen Hai, I'm warning you, you should know what you deserve and what you don't. Understand? What don't I deserve? Please enlighten me. Chu Thien's face darkened. Perhaps she had never encountered someone who dared to confront her so directly. At this point, seeing their leader angry, her followers came over and surrounded me. I looked at her, my face full of scorn. What? Strength in numbers? Still playing these childish middle school games? My best friend stood beside me but couldn't help at all. Chu Thien was truly the crazy type, if things got physical. My friend and I would definitely be no match for her. She was so angry her chest heaved violently, clearly. I had provoked her. You don't know what you don't deserve. Huh? Her voice suddenly became much louder. Because your family is poor. Don't dream of climbing higher by relying on Kai Dang. You're not worthy. I smiled at her, not bothering to refute. Someone carrying the same bag for 3 years is pretending to be rich here? Mocking me for being poor is fine. Because she wasn't really that rich herself. But arguing like this in the middle of the classroom was truly too humiliating. I didn't want to continue. It seemed my silence made her more confident. She then said something that made me instantly abandon any thought of de-escalation. Doesn't everyone know your mother picks you up every day? Isn't it because you don't have a father? My heart clenched. I immediately stood up and slapped her across the face. The slap echoed throughout the classroom, loud and clear for everyone to hear. The pain of losing a loved one. No matter how much time passes, one never truly gets used to it, especially when someone else ruthlessly tears it open, awakening a bone-deep agony. My father was a firefighter. So what? A beauty-loving lady like my mother. Yet she fell for a serious firefighter like my father because of his hidden gentleness. The day the factory incident happened, my father went on duty. Only later did I learn the factory owner hadn't warned that there were flammable and explosive materials inside. That day, no designer item could hide the tear tracks on my mother's face. It was the first time I had ever seen her cry so devastatingly. You dare hit me? Shu Thien furiously lunged towards me, ready to fight. I didn't back down either. She touched upon my father. She had to learn a lesson. Suddenly, I felt my wrist grasped by a warm hand. Then, I was pulled away by an irresistible force. In front of me was Kai Dang's frowning face. A girl getting into fights. How can you possibly teach my little brother properly? I angrily shook his hand off. What does me fighting have to do with teaching your brother? He looked at me, his face suggesting that if I said one more word, I'd get hit. Luckily, seeing Kai Dang arrive, Shu Thien lost her fighting spirit. She scurried back to her seat like a rat crossing the street. By the time school let out for lunch, my stomach was rumbling loudly. I looked back at Kai Dang's seat, but he had disappeared some time ago. What? He said we'd go together. Disappointed, I gathered my things, only to notice a very unfriendly gaze on me. It was Shu Thien again. She really stuck like a leech. My best friend also realized the situation wasn't good. Shu Thien's friends weren't leaving either. This situation didn't look good for us. Actually, it was just not good for me. To be precise, after all, my best friend's mother was coming to pick her up, while my mother was still in the hospital. Duong Yen Hai, are you planning to rot in the classroom? I turned around to face Kai Dang's impatient gaze. Luckily, he appeared just in time, saving me from an obvious disaster. Tiu Hai, you're finally here. Hurry in and eat. The food is getting cold. Kai Dang's mother welcomed me warmly. I didn't understand why. Being just a tutor, I felt she was a bit overly enthusiastic. Kai Bang was also overjoyed to see me arrive. It seemed that apart from Kai Dang, the whole family liked me very much. During the meal, Kai Dang's mother suddenly spoke up. Tiu Hai, Auntie intends to pay you double salary, as long as you come to teach Bang Bang during lunch and in the evening. Oh, there's no need, Auntie. Why the sudden salary increase? She seemed to notice my confusion and explained, don't be shy about accepting the salary. Bang Bang is very picky. Quite a few tutors have given up. It took a long time to find someone suitable like you. And the second reason, didn't you say yesterday your mother was ill? Auntie understands. Perhaps you need the money more. Hearing this explanation, I was genuinely moved. The second reason was probably the main one. Auntie thought I was struggling financially because my mother was hospitalized. Misunderstood yet again, but rejecting someone's kindness is always harder than accepting it. Well, since Auntie put it that way, if the salary increases, so be it. I wouldn't refuse anymore. There were no classes in the afternoon. I'd probably have to stay here the whole time. Miss Hai, do you know how to play games? Kai Bang asked. Are you kidding? Me, not know how to play games? Haha, who are you looking down on? Ever heard of Honor of Kings? I retorted. Kai Bang's eyes lit up. Can you carry me for a few matches? I'm in my promotion series. Anyway, since we're here all afternoon, playing a few games won't hurt. Let's go. Log in, I replied. A match like this was effortless. Wow, Miss Hai, you're amazing, good at studying, top tier at gaming, and pretty too. I was thrilled by the compliment. Come on, one more match, I said. Just then, my phone rang, interrupting us. My mother's name appeared on the screen. My mother was actively calling me. Hello, Yen Hai, Mom forgot a document at home. Are you free now? Can you bring it over for me? As expected, nothing good ever came easy. Alright, wait a moment, Mom, good grief, I just got a raise. Auntie, I'm so sorry, I said to Kai Dang's mother. My mother's condition seems to have taken a turn. I have to leave immediately. Do you need Kai Dang to drive you? No need, Auntie. I turned and walked out. Kai Bang grinned at Kai Dang. Bro, Miss Hai is even better at games than you. Kai Dang glanced at his little brother. Let me see her stats screen. Kai Bang held the phone out in front of his brother. Honor of Kings match, 13 kills, 0 deaths. But what caught Kai Dang's attention wasn't my score, but my ID. I am University A's Bell. Kai Dang looked back at his own in-game name. I am University A's Hunk. This was the exact name he and his online girlfriend had spent a long time coming up with. Kai Dang's hand tightened, his knuckles cracking. He had finally found her. When I finally struggled my way to the hospital gate, I saw a familiar figure from afar. Shu Thien. Enemies truly do cross paths. Without her followers around, I couldn't be bothered with her. However, I still chose to ignore her, pretending not to see her. But as I walked past her, that shrill voice piped up right on cue, truly not disappointing me. Well, isn't your mother sick? Serves her right. What vile things come out of your mouth? I thought silently. Anyway, we were in public. I didn't want to make a scene. What's wrong? Your father isn't sick? Then why run to the hospital? Shu Thien pressed on. Unexpectedly, she lifted her head high and said, my father isn't sick, he came to the hospital to discuss business. Good grief, discussing business at a hospital? That's a first. I didn't want to waste more words and went straight into the hospital room. My mother was chatting with a very polite man in a suit. I knocked on the door. Mom, I brought the documents. It seemed their conversation was about to end. All right, Mr. Chu, my mother said, if the conditions are agreed upon, let's sign the contract. Certainly, the polite man signed his name decisively. Mom, I interjected, let me tell you, I almost got into a fight at school today. Unexpectedly, my mother, who was signing, stopped and started scolding me. Why can't you act normally? Why did you have to fight? It's dangerous, don't you know? I was fine when she said our family was poor. But then she brought up Dad, and I couldn't stand it. I noticed my mother tremble slightly. Oh no, I slipped up. I shouldn't have mentioned this in front of Mom. Who was it? Mom's voice was very calm. But I knew she was angry. The man quickly tried to smooth things over. Kids these days really don't understand things. How about this? CEO Lu, let's finish signing the papers. Just then, Shu Thien's voice sounded from the doorway. Dad, why are you taking so long? Aren't you done yet? All three turned to look towards the door. It was Shu Thien, CEO Chu discussing business. Good grief. This man was Shu Thien's father? Shu Thien's eyes looked at me, full of shock. I turned to look at Mom, pointing towards the door. Mom, it was her. I never thought the day would come when I'd tattle like this. Indeed, people always tend to become the type they once hated. But I had to admit, this feeling was truly satisfying. The man's, Mr. Chu's, expression immediately turned ugly. He seemed unsure how to handle the situation. My mother didn't say much either. Just put her pen down on the table. Mr. Chu, I think this contract needs reconsideration. It doesn't seem quite right. Let's discuss it another day. His mouth twitched as he forced a smile uglier than tears. Please don't do this. CEO Lu, my side has prepared everything. My mother remained silent. Shu Thien, get over here right now. Mr. Chu was trembling with anger. Shu Thien had no choice. She looked at her father with fearful eyes and took trembling steps forward. Smack. The sound of the slap was crystal clear. In less than 5 seconds, a handprint was clearly visible on her face. Why are you so unreasonable? How many times has Dad told you not to bully your classmates? Shu Thien's tears streamed down, but she didn't dare utter a word. My mother just watched coldly, showing no intention of intervening. As for me, I even felt a little smug, vindicated. Seriously, the feeling of being the bad guy was quite interesting. The man turned to look at my mother. Is that sufficient? CEO Lu, my daughter was wrong. I will discipline her properly. My mother replied. Conflicts between kids at school should be resolved by them at school. Hearing this, he seemed to see a glimmer of hope. Absolutely. Tomorrow, I'll have my daughter apologize to TU High at school. All right? He looked towards me. Being a gentle person, I naturally didn't want to escalate things, so I could only give a slight nod. All right then, Mr. Chu, my mother said. We'll sign the contract tomorrow. No problem, right? Yes, no problem at all. He hurriedly stepped out, dragging his daughter with him. Watching them leave, I immediately hugged my mother tightly. Mom, you're the best, truly my mother. Rest assured, no matter what, Mom won't let you be bullied. Just then, a man walked in, the very doctor my mother was interested in. Seeing the two of us hugging, he looked a bit surprised. Who is this? Your daughter? My mother ruthlessly pushed me away. No. This is my niece. On the way home in a taxi, I opened Kai Dang's messages to read. Since I put my phone on silent, he had been texting non-stop. The most recent message was from 5 minutes ago. Wifey, if I find you using my own abilities, can we hug and kiss? Hug and kiss? I'm right in front of you. And you don't recognize me. What abilities are you talking about? I texted back. Sure. Up to you. Only if you can actually do it. He replied immediately. Okay. You just wait. Arriving back at Kai Dang's house, Auntie immediately asked, how did it go? How is your mother? I really wanted to say, I don't have a mother anymore. I've become my mother's niece. What mother are you talking about? But I just replied, she's stable, but has some psychological issues. Psychological issues? Those are hard to treat, Auntie said worriedly. Kai Dang, who was lounging comfortably on the sofa with his legs up, suddenly stood up and said, come to my room. Huh? What did he mean? Kai Dang completely ignored my suspicious gaze and walked straight up to the second floor. Good grief. Should I follow him? Miss Hai, you're back? There's a problem I don't understand. Can you come help me? Kai Bang called to me from his doorway. I glanced upstairs, although hesitant. I ultimately walked towards Kai Bang. After all, tutoring was my main job. Plus I felt that nothing good ever came from Kai Dang seeking me out. Which problem don't you understand? This whole chapter. Magnetic fields and electromagnetic induction. Explaining this would take forever. Just then, Kai Dang pushed open Kai Bang's door and entered. I turned and immediately met his eyes. His expression wasn't happy. He looked like something was annoying him. I told you to come to my room. Why did you run over here? I rolled my eyes so hard I almost showed the whites. Please, teaching is my actual job. Come to my room first. You can teach him later. After saying that, he lunged forward, grabbed my hand, and pulled me out of the room. Let go of Miss Hai's hand. Kai Bang rushed over, grabbed my other hand, trying to stop Kai Dang from pulling me away. I stood in the middle, speechless. What is this? Pulling back and forth like they wanted to tear me in half. I know you don't like Miss Hai, but Kai Bang looked pitifully at Kai Dang. Hey, is it polite to say that? I knew Kai Dang disliked me, but saying it so bluntly to my face was a bit embarrassing. Kai Dang looked at his brother, his eyes full of irritation. What do you know? Let go now. Kai Bang shook his head, refusing to let go. Don't touch her hand. Do you hear me? Oh my god, are these two brothers going to fight? Kai Dang, Kai Bang, what chaos are you two causing here? Auntie pushed the door open and pulled Kai Dang aside. Seeing his mother, Kai Bang immediately deployed his whining skills. Mom, big brother stopped me from studying and even tried to bully Miss Hai. This performance probably deserved a Best Actor award, but thinking about it, what Kai Bang said wasn't far from the truth. Auntie's half-believing, half-doubting gaze shifted to me. Don't look at me. I can't afford to offend either side. Perhaps Auntie interpreted my silence as Kai Dang forcing me. Auntie grabbed Kai Dang's ear and dragged him out of the room. How many times have I told you? Don't disturb your brother's studies. Don't provoke Hai. Now get out. Mom, won't you listen to my explanation? Let me go first. Before leaving, Auntie turned back and smiled at me. It's okay. You two continue studying. I'm going to teach him a lesson. The door closed. Without Kai Dang, the atmosphere in the room immediately felt lighter. Miss Hai, let's continue. I nodded. I wasn't wrong about him. Kai Bang was genuinely smart, deserving recognition. Magnetic fields and electromagnetic induction are probably among the hardest topics in high school physics. But for me, explaining the key concepts he didn't understand and then demonstrating 2 example problems was enough. He could handle the rest in the workbook and reference books himself. Kai Bang would look at me after completing each step, beaming happily after receiving my nod of approval. All done. Miss Hai, I understand everything we learned today. Are there any other subjects to study? He shook his head and put his books in his bag. This counts as studying ahead. It feels pretty good. I looked at the clock. 2 hours had passed. And during that time, Kai Dang hadn't come to bother us once. It seemed Auntie was indeed very effective at handling things. What should I do with the remaining time? Today was the weekend, I had an elective class in the morning, but the afternoon was completely free. I don't know if my best friend heard my mental plea for help, but she texted right at that moment. Hi, come over here. There's something fun. Immediately followed by a location pin, a karaoke place, including the room number. What kind of fun? I texted back. After waiting 5 minutes, she still hadn't replied. Knowing her personality, she probably got distracted by some handsome guy again. Karaoke on a Sunday afternoon? Who's free to sing at this hour? Normally, places like this held no interest for me. But anyway, Kai Bang had finished studying. There was no one else home, and I was free. Wait up, I'm coming. Kai Bang reluctantly waved goodbye to me. As I left, I didn't see Kai Dang anywhere. Could Auntie have dragged him off to be dealt with? But that was good too. He never gave me a friendly look anyway. If he found out I left early, he'd probably fire me. I drove to the karaoke place. Arriving at the door number my friend sent, I pushed it open and walked in. The moment the door opened, I sensed something was wrong. There was no music in the room, nor could I hear any laughter or conversation. When I clearly saw the situation inside, I immediately turned around, intending to run out. Inside the room were none other than Chu Thien and 3 or 4 tattooed men. And my best friend? Yes, she was huddled at the edge of the sofa, hands covering her head, her phone thrown onto the table. Clearly, this was a trap. I turned silently, preparing to flee first, but right at the door, a blonde man with an earring was already blocking the way. It's over. I tried to look at Chu Thien calmly, maintaining my composure. What do you intend to do? If you dare touch me, I guarantee neither you nor your father will have peace when I get home. Chu Thien fiddled with her phone as she approached me, pointing to the handprint on her face. See this? This handprint? My father has never hit me since I was little. It's all because of a bitch like you and your damn mother. She held up her phone towards my face, a defiant smile on her lips. You're rich, aren't you? A young miss, planning to run home and tell mommy and daddy to make my father and me miserable? She handed the phone to a tattooed man standing nearby. He pointed to the blonde man at the door. You hold her hands tight. The blonde man approached, flashing a lewd smile, and grabbed both my hands tightly. Get lost. Stay away from me, you bastard. I struggled with all my might, but the strength difference between us was too great. He used one hand to hold both of mine, while his other hand started groping me randomly. He growled, Shut your mouth. I'll show you later. The blonde man held my head facing straight towards Chu Thien. My bloodshot eyes glared fiercely at her. What are you looking at? You deserve to die. She raised her hand. I felt a rush of air pass by, my ears rang, and my face burned as if on fire. The slap was so hard that even though the blonde man held my head tightly, it was knocked to the side. At that moment, I felt my neck make a crack sound, and a warm liquid immediately flowed from my nose. Hold her head straight for me. The blonde man complied. Then smack, smack. 3 more slaps followed. My mind gradually became hazy. Stop hitting high, you bastards. Hit me if you dare. My best friend staggered to her feet, intending to rush over and intervene, but was blocked by a tattooed man. Chu Thien looked down at her hand. It seemed my nosebleed had gotten on it. She finally stopped. Tisk. So dirty. Why pretend to be a saint all day? She took a tissue from a tattooed man, wiped her hand carelessly, and then took the phone back from the other guy. She waved her hand, and the other men grinned disgustingly. All right, I'm done venting my anger. Now it's your turn to enjoy yourselves. The blonde man rubbed his hands together, smiling perversely. Tisk tisk. Look at these legs, so long and white. Let go. Don't touch me. I struggled fiercely, managing to knock one groping hand away. Ooh, quite feisty. Huh. The blonde man pinned my arms while the others cleared the table and restrained both my arms and legs. I glanced at Chu Thien and saw her excitedly filming from a corner of the room. If you dare breathe a word about this, I'll post this video to the school group chat immediately, she threatened, looking at Chu Thien's hateful face. I ground my teeth hard. Damn it, if I ever get the chance, I will definitely kill you. I gathered all my strength to struggle, trying not to let them touch me, only to receive 2 punches to the face that made me lose consciousness. When I woke up, my head was pounding like crazy. Reflexively, I raised my hand to shield my eyes from the blinding light. After a few seconds of confusion, I remembered what happened before I fainted and sat bolt upright. I looked down at my clothes, they were still intact. Only then did I notice my surroundings. I was in the hospital. You're awake? I turned my head, it was Kai Dang. Why was he here too? His voice was a bit weary. Probably woken up by me. And sounded slightly annoyed. Why am I in the hospital? What happened yesterday? I spoke incoherently, anxious to know what happened after I fainted. Nothing happened to you yesterday. After all, I was the one who rescued you. Kai Dang proudly patted his chest with his left hand. Only then did I realize his right arm was in a cast. What happened to your arm? I already told you. It was from saving you. I picked up a mirror. My face still had bruises. Some already turned purple. It's over. My beauty is ruined. Kai Dang, are you sure? Those guys really didn't do anything to me? Kai Dang looked at me seriously. Then suddenly burst out laughing. Do anything to you? Or perhaps you want to hear what they did to me first? He deliberately waved his casted arm. Rest assured, I rescued you completely intact. It's just a pity I can hardly eat now. Suddenly, I felt something was wrong. If something happened to me, where was my mother? Was she still busy flirting with that doctor? Kai Dang, where's my mom? He looked at me and replied cryptically, Auntie has some business. And where is that Chu Thien girl? I definitely have to deal with her. I tried to get out of bed, but Kai Dang stopped me. No need. Chu Thien has already been sent to a detention center. Auntie is handling this matter. Hearing that result, the anger in my heart subsided a little. The school expelled her, but that's not very important now. Her mental state isn't stable either. What's wrong with her? Kai Dang glanced at me but remained silent, saying no more. After a moment, he said, because of what happened to you. Auntie cancelled the contract with Chu Thien's father. He was the one who initially sought cooperation, and the contract itself contained coercive terms. Ultimately, because of this incident, Auntie got angry, and his capital chain broke. Last night, Chu Thien's father jumped from a building and committed suicide. That's why she became unstable. She deserved it. Consider it helping University A eliminate a menace. But her father's end was truly tragic. Perhaps he should have reflected on how he raised his child. From beginning to end, Kai Dang never specifically described how he rescued me last night. From that day on, I entered a period of rest and recovery. I was asked by the police to give a statement. When I returned to school, Chu Thien's belongings had been completely cleared out. With the common enemy dealt with, I once again became the center of attention. Why say again? Because the first time was when I scolded Kai Dang and became a phenomenon. My mother was very good at protecting me. She explained to the teachers that my recovery leave was due to Chu Thien leading people to assault me. But she absolutely did not mention the tattooed men. Anyway, the lives of some female students are very boring. Whether something happened or not, in their mouths, it's always treated as fact. The relationship between Kai Dang and me seemed to have improved slightly. Every evening, I still comfortably called him darling online because he didn't know who I was. I still rode in his Ferrari every day after school to go tutor Kai Dang at his house. But recently, I received a new task, feeding Kai Dang. This was a unilateral request from him. But to express my gratitude for him saving me, I agreed, receiving one salary but doing two jobs. I felt it was worth it. Although I wanted to live at home, my mother still hadn't successfully wooed that doctor. Knowing her personality, I knew I couldn't persuade her to come home. Previously, Kai Dang always insisted on pulling me up to his room. Now that I came every day, he didn't clearly state what he wanted. After feeding him, I went over to Kai Dang's room to teach physics. Miss Hai, do you like my brother? No, I admitted I felt a bit flustered saying this. If you don't like him, why do you feed him? I just want to repay him for saving me. Was it that time you went to karaoke? How did you know? You should thank me too. I was the one who told my brother where you were, otherwise. How could he have found you? Kai Dang put on an expression expecting praise. This habit of showing off accomplishments was just like his brother's. That day, my brother asked where you were. I said you went to karaoke with someone else. He immediately got furious and ran out. Kai Dang continued. He even mumbled something like, who knows which guy she went out with this time. Then ran off to find you. Oh my god, what was this action from Kai Dang? I smiled at Kai Dang. Is that so? Then I really must thank you. Is there anything you want to eat or anywhere you want to go? My treat. Kai Bang rested his chin on his hand, thinking for about 2 minutes. Miss Hai, how about we go to the amusement park? I nodded. Okay, but you have to tell your mom and brother first. Otherwise I'll be seen as an irresponsible tutor. Kai Bang ran out gleefully. Miss Hai is the best. About 2 minutes later, he returned, his expression a bit strange and disappointed. What's wrong? We can't go? It's okay. I can play games with you instead. Kai Bang looked at me with pitiful eyes and shook his head. No. Mom agreed. But my brother. What about your brother? Your mom agreed. What objection could he have? Isn't he afraid your mom will pull his ear again? I looked at Kai Bang, gently comforting him. It's okay. Your brother's opinion doesn't matter, as long as Auntie agrees. It's fine. No, he agreed too, Kai Bang said, but he said he wants to come along. What? Kai Dang is coming too? With that stern face of his. Could he even smile? Wouldn't his presence ruin the atmosphere? Kai Bang sighed helplessly. It's really strange, he's never been interested in places like amusement parks before. I started imagining Kai Dang with a serious face sitting on a carousel horse. Where's your brother? Where is he now? He said he went to change clothes. Told us to wait a bit. Arm in a cast and still being so extra? Luckily, he didn't ask me to help him change. Alright, then I'll call a car first. Kai Dang's Ferrari definitely couldn't fit 3 people. After waiting downstairs for about 5 minutes, Kai Dang slowly emerged. As soon as he stepped out, he almost blinded me. Shiny leather shoes. A neat suit, even wearing a tie. If you didn't know better, you'd think he was preparing for a charity event in Bali. Of course, with this attire, I didn't dare comment, but Kai Bang, who wasn't afraid of his brother, didn't think so. Bro, we're going out to have fun. Why are you dressed like this? If you want to go, then go. If not, go back to your room and continue studying. Kai Dang replied coldly. I knew right away that talking to him wouldn't lead anywhere good. Luckily, I wasn't the one who commented. HMPH. Originally Miss Hai and I weren't planning to bring you along anyway. Kai Bang muttered. Kai Dang's gaze immediately shifted to me, as if asking if that was true. Why do they always drag me into their arguments? No, I welcome you very much. Seeing the atmosphere ease slightly, I quickly spoke to mediate. Alright, the car is here, let's go. Driver, to Hai Ti Van Tuong Ton. Please. The driver glanced in the rearview mirror. Teasing. Oh, 3 of you going to the same place? How come 2 look like they're going on a picnic, while 1 looks like he's attending a wedding? This remark made Kai Bang and me burst out laughing. Kai Dang's stern face turned towards me. Is it that funny? Good grief. Is even breathing wrong? Why does he always target me? Bro, don't always bully Miss Hai. Kai Bang defended. You treat even someone like her like this. No wonder you don't have a girlfriend. Kai Dang said nothing, but his face grew darker and darker. Miss Hai is smart, good at games, gentle, pretty, and even takes me out. Kai Bang listed my merits, then suddenly exclaimed, whoever marries Miss Hai would probably laugh even in their sleep. Suddenly, he turned to look at me with an excited expression. I'm 16 this year, in another 6 years. I can get married. If I marry Miss Hai, I can be with her every day. Before he finished speaking, Kai Bang's head was hit hard. You dare? Kai Dang looked coldly at his little brother. Kai Bang clutched his head, looking resentfully at his brother. Bro, why did you hit so hard? Don't you know your own strength? Kai Dang raised his hand again, about to strike once more, still pretending? What did you just say? Don't you know your place? Seeing this, I quickly shielded Kai Bang's head protectively. Stop hitting him. He's so smart, hit him more, and he'll become stupid. Kai Dang's murderous gaze instantly turned to me. You're still defending him? You want to marry him? Asking for trouble. I really shouldn't have said anything. With me intervening, Kai Bang became even more smug. Miss Hai already agreed. Your objection is useless. If I can marry Miss Hai, Mom will definitely be happy. After speaking, he turned to look at me. You agree? Right, Miss Hai? Agree. Let's talk again when you're old enough to get married. Suddenly, Kai Dang's hand reached towards me. I thought he was going to hit me and squeezed my eyes shut in fear. Unexpectedly, his hand just gently patted my head. Don't casually make promises like that to boys in the future. As he said this, the expression on Kai Dang's face was very strange, as if some unusual emotion was welling up. Plus, with his hand resting on my head, my face flushed unconsciously. After all, he was the school's hot boy, who wouldn't be moved. But of course, his handsome face couldn't hide that venomous mouth. I pouted, somehow finding the courage to argue back. He's just a kid. Why take it so seriously? The gentle expression on his face immediately vanished. What wind blew to make him change expression so quickly? Kai Dang's face became unpleasant. He looked at me and said, word by word, he's 16. Not a child anymore. Then he continued, by your logic, I'm also a child, I'm only 22. So how about we go register our marriage right now? Huh? I was dumbfounded. What was he talking about? Did he want to register our marriage? Kai Dang avoided my suspicious gaze, looking out the window with an embarrassed expression. It's nothing. Can't say for sure right now. In less than 10 minutes, he had changed his expression 3 times. Truly Kai Dang's strange style. On the way, the two of us talked more than ever before. We've arrived. Getting out of the car, Kai Bang's excitement immediately turned into complaints. Huh? Why are there so many people? Today was the weekend, but such long queues were still unexpected. It's okay. It's the weekend, but no problem, as long as we have this. I pulled a card from my pocket. That's right, the VIP card for Hai Ti Van Tuong Ton. The members' entrance was almost empty. My mother got this card for me. Probably because she didn't want me at home. Maybe because she often had dates at home. Wow, Miss Hai, you have a membership card. Kai Bang exclaimed. Bro, Miss Hai has this membership card. Huh, where did you go? Only then did I realize I hadn't seen Kai Dang since getting out of the car. Truly, not a word said. His presence was surprisingly low-key. But he was so big, could he have gotten lost? Where did he go? Looking in the direction Kai Bang pointed. Sure enough, Kai Dang in his suit stood out the most. I noticed he was holding cotton candy and an ice cream. Even more fussy, cutesy than a girl. It's true that handsome guys often have sensitive souls. Kai Dang walked up to me, handing me the cotton candy and ice cream. Hey, giving both to me? I took them, stunned. What was wrong with him today? Such strange actions. At this point, Kai Bang started whining because he had nothing to eat. I'll give you money. Go buy it yourself. Kai Dang paid him no attention. Kai Bang reached into Kai Dang's jacket pocket and pulled out a small piece of paper. He curiously picked up the paper to look, not expecting Kai Dang's reaction to be so strong. Kai Bang, give that back to me now. Kai Dang shouted. Kai Bang pretended to bargain with his brother. I want cotton candy. And I want ice cream too. Okay? Kai Dang maintained his cold expression. Who knew what was written on that paper to make it so serious? Give it here. I'll go buy them for you. Kai Bang didn't hesitate to return the paper to his brother. While Kai Dang was off buying things, Kai Bang secretly leaned close to my ear and whispered, Miss Hai. Guess what was written on my brother's paper? Heavens, I didn't see it. How could I guess? I shook my head and answered honestly, I don't know. But I really want to. Can you tell me? Kai Bang nodded, leaning close to my ear again. My brother's paper listed ways to please a girl at an amusement park. Behind cotton candy and ice cream, there were check marks indicating completion. Pleasing a girl? I looked Kai Bang over again, confirming he wasn't a girl. I started thinking about myself. Could it be that Kai Dang's strange actions today were all because of me? I shook my head hard, telling myself, Duong Yen Hai. This line of thought is dangerous. Kai Bang looked at me, a hint of regret in his eyes. Miss Hai, it looks like you're about to become my sister-in-law. Sister-in-law, my foot. Kai Bang sighed to himself. Being with my brother is really tiring. But it's okay, if that happens. I'll get to see Miss Hai every day. I made a face like I'd swallowed a fly and quickly texted Kai Dang, the one standing not far away, darling. Do you like any other girls? The reply came almost instantly, no way. I only love you. Conclusion confirmed. Standard scumbag. Kai Dang liking me? Even now, I still couldn't believe it. Don't dream about it. I definitely won't like your brother. I told Kai Bang. I know, his personality isn't good. Suddenly, I became curious about that paper again. Do you know what else was written on your brother's paper? Kai Bang shook his head. No, I didn't get to see the rest. Just then, Kai Dang returned with the items in hand. Both of us immediately stopped our conversation. What should we ride first? Roller coaster or drop tower? Kai Bang asked excitedly. These two rides were quite thrilling. Kai Bang was excited after hearing this. But Kai Dang didn't think so. He took out the paper and glanced at it briefly. Let's go to the haunted house. Heavens, why the haunted house? What's the point? Not wanting the brothers to argue again, I quickly mediated. Okay, haunted houses can be interesting too. The haunted house experience took a while. You had to wait for the previous group to exit before the next could enter. Therefore, the queue here was longer than for any other ride. This was where the advantage of the VIP card came into play. Walking through the members' entrance past the envious eyes of the crowd, we garnered quite a few looks of admiration, jealousy, and resentment. Before going in, Kai Dang gently whispered in my ear, "If you're scared, hold my hand." For the first few minutes, I pretended not to be scared. But when a scare actor suddenly appeared and nearly made me collapse, I quickly grabbed Kai Dang's hand tightly. I didn't initiate it, okay? He told me to hold his hand first. My face felt a bit hot, from beginning to end. I didn't dare turn back to look at him. I just felt this haunted house was really big. Every 3 steps there was a small ghost. Every 5 steps a big ghost appeared. Every time a ghost appeared, I shrank backwards. By the time we got out, I had almost climbed onto Kai Dang's head. Kai Dang lifted me down, straightened his suit which I had wrinkled, and said nothing. I realized Kai Dang's attitude towards me had really changed a lot. Could Kai Bang's words be true? It was all his fault for insisting on the haunted house and making me lose face like this. Afterwards, Kai Bang and I clamored to ride the roller coaster and the drop tower. As I screamed in fear, seeing Kai Dang's emotionless face beside me, I suddenly felt the drop tower wasn't exciting at all. I even considered jumping off the ride right then. Just as Kai Bang said, Kai Dang really knew how to ruin the atmosphere. As the sun began to set, we reached our final stop, the Ferris wheel. When the cabin ahead took 2 people, Kai Dang suddenly grabbed my hand and pulled me into another cabin. Then he turned back and told Kai Bang, "You sit in the next cabin." The cabin opposite seemed to hold a couple deeply in love. Kai Dang and I really had nothing to say, just silently listening to the others exchange sweet nothings. "My love, they say if you kiss at the highest point of the Ferris wheel, you'll be together forever. Do you want to, with me?" That was the young man's voice. The girl blushed, leaned her head on his shoulder, and shyly nodded. As the Ferris wheel gradually ascended, the scenery below became clear. The distant mountains, the nearby lake, it seemed nature itself was witnessing this love. I didn't know if the Ferris wheel had reached the top yet, but the couple opposite were already lost in each other, oblivious to the world. Feeling a bit awkward, I quickly turned my head to look out the window at the view. Suddenly, Kai Dang leaned close to my ear and whispered, "Have we reached the highest point?" Before I could understand what was happening, I felt my hand grasped tightly by Kai Dang. I only managed to utter one word, but the rest was blocked by his approaching face. He looked at me, his ears gradually turning red, his words hesitant. "Should we be together forever?" I lowered my head and tried to pull my hand away, but he held it tight, making escape impossible. When my eyes met his again, although I couldn't see my own expression, I could clearly feel my face burning red. Okay. Almost simultaneously, his face drew closer until a warm sensation touched my lips. His kiss carried an unstoppable intensity. I even felt like a piece of fish being bitten and torn by him. "Don't, hurts." I pushed him with my hands, barely managing to force out the 2 words. I don't even remember how I got off the Ferris wheel that day. I only remember when Kai Bang got off. He looked at my face in surprise. "Miss Hai, did you eat something spicy? Why are your lips swollen?" "She just ate something delicious. That's why her lips are swollen," Kai Dang replied for me, standing beside me smirking smugly. Annoyed, I lightly tapped him. After that day, I stopped going to Kai Dang's house to tutor. My mother was discharged from the hospital, bringing home the doctor she had her eye on. But anyway, at least I wasn't alone in the house anymore. Thinking back now, I still don't understand why I agreed so vaguely that day. Now I didn't know how to face him. At school, I tried to avoid meeting him. Even so, I could still feel a pair of eyes constantly watching me during class. Damn it, what exactly was the relationship between Kai Dang and me? Hi, come watch basketball with me. That super handsome guy is on the court now. I was dragged by my best friend to the basketball court. almost unable to resist. Look, isn't that guy even more handsome than Kai Dang? I glanced over and replied uncertainly. She was mesmerized, while I squatted courtside playing with my phone. Watch out, move quickly. A loud shout came from the court. I looked up to see a large figure rushing towards me. Then I fainted. That's right, I fainted because someone fell on me. And I didn't even have time to see who it was. When I woke up, I was in the hospital. Oh God, I hadn't been to the hospital all year. And now I'd been admitted repeatedly in just a few days. The doctor glanced at me. Awake already? Before I could react, he turned to the door and called out, "Don't stand outside anymore." She's awake. After changing my medication, the doctor conveniently closed the door behind him. Kai Dang walked in, a rare look of worry on his face. How are you feeling? I shook my head, almost bursting into tears. Not good. Everything hurts, my head hurts. My legs hurt too. As soon as I said it, I regretted it. Good grief. Why did that sound like I was whining, acting cute? Kai Dang reached out and patted my head. His expression somewhat affectionate. It's okay. I've already called Auntie. She'll be here soon. Thank you. He smirked but then gave a mischievous grin. No need to thank me. Wifey, don't call me that. Who's your wife? My voice got smaller and smaller as I spoke. I called you that online. And you didn't object. I quickly pulled the blanket over my head. It's over. I could die of embarrassment. Are you sick? Knowing who I was and not saying anything. A sudden strong force pulled the blanket off my face. His gaze, like a hunter looking at prey, made me instinctively shrink back to the edge of the bed. I told you, didn't I? I would find you. You once said, if I found you, I could kiss and hug you. Kai Dang's face showed an aggrieved expression, as if blaming me for not keeping my promise. We already kissed, on the Ferris wheel. Memories of that day flooded back, and my face flushed red again. That time doesn't count, you hadn't officially found me then. I looked at him with wary eyes, as if looking at a rogue. I covered my mouth tightly with my hand, signaling him not to even think about it. This time, I brought you to the hospital. Shouldn't you thank me? I kept my mouth covered, shaking my head vigorously. I just woke up. I'm still weak. Maybe next time. Seeing his sly smile, I felt something wasn't right. It's okay. Let me. He pulled me closer from the edge of the bed, then started prying my hands away. I tried to reach out to push his face away, but my whole body lacked strength. I couldn't resist at all. I closed my eyes, resigning myself to fate, looking at my lips, swollen like sausages. In the mirror afterwards, I almost burst into tears. Kai Dang, however, contentedly wiped his mouth, looking like he still wanted more. Wifey, kissing is done. After you recover, we'll hug. I could only look helplessly at Kai Dang, with no strength left to refute. He stood tall looking down at me, his eyes full of possessiveness. Wifey, after you graduate, let's get married. The doctor said you can be discharged today. Come to my house this afternoon. I held the wedding bouquet in my hands, listening as the MC asked Kai Dang for his marriage vows. That day, I heard the sweetest words in the world. Kai Dang looked at me, his warm voice echoing, Duong Yen Hai. If my life were a poem, you would surely appear on the first page, and the following days would be the content of that poem. When people read poetry, they carry the story from the first page to permeate every line within the poem. I will carry the belief of loving you from the first page to live the rest of my life fully.